Do you often get leg cramps at night? Don't blame the cold. Revisit your last meal of the day. You wake up gasping, your legs on fire, not from a bad dream, but from another cramp. It's sharp. It's sudden. It feels like your body's turning against you, and it happens almost every night. You might think, it's just the cold, or my age, maybe it's stress. But what if the answer has been right there, on your dinner plate? Tonight, we're taking you on a journey that starts in the kitchen and ends in the one place you've been missing most, a deep, peaceful, cramp-free night's sleep. This isn't about magic pills. It's about listening to your body, nourishing it with care, and finally putting an end to those 3 a.m. wake-up calls. You're not broken. You're just missing the rhythm your body is begging for. Let's find it, together. Why the heck do I wake up screaming at 3 a.m. with my calf in a knot? That's the question 17-year-old Maya asked me, half laughing, half panicked, after her first night cramp. She's a varsity soccer player, drinks plenty of Gatorade, and thought cramps were something only old people got. But here's the truth. Nighttime cramps can hit anyone, at any age, and they're not just random. They're a red flag from your body, waving frantically because something is out of balance. Let's break it down. What are night cramps? Really? Imagine this. You're sleeping, your body is calm, your breathing is slow, and then, bam! Your calf seizes up like it's being zapped by a taser. Your toes curl. Your leg muscles twist. You want to scream, but all you can do is grab your leg and hold on until it stops. That, friends, is a nocturnal muscle cramp, and it's more than just a spasm. What's happening inside? Think of your muscles like electric-powered puppets. Your nerves send a signal. Hey, calf, it's time to move. And your muscle listens. But if that signal gets scrambled, if your electrolytes are off, your nerves are tired, or your muscle is overused, that move signal can get stuck. Suddenly, your muscle contracts uncontrollably and forgets how to relax. Night cramps don't just happen out of nowhere. There's usually an incubation period, a buildup of tiny imbalances happening days or even weeks before that first big cramp. Let's talk about 54-year-old Thomas, a retired high school history teacher. He didn't notice anything at first. Maybe his legs felt a little heavy when he walked the dog. Maybe he had some tingling in his toes at night. But then he got hit, 3 nights in a row, waking up howling from calf cramps. He thought it was because it got colder. But the real culprit, mild dehydration, high blood pressure meds, diuretics, skipping dinner, low potassium. These all built up over time until his muscles snapped. Let's say your body's dropping hints, but you're not picking up on them. Here's what you might feel during the prodromal stage, the early warning signs of nighttime cramps. A feeling of tightness or tension in your calves or thighs, tingling or buzzing in your feet at night, minor muscle twitches when you stretch in bed, a weird jumping sensation in your toes, feeling like your legs are restless even when you're tired. Teenagers who play sports or spend hours on their feet can ignore this. So can older adults who just think they're getting stiff with age. But these signs matter. You've probably heard of vitamins and minerals, right? But electrolytes are the rock stars no one talks about enough. Imagine this triangle. Muscle, tissue, nerve, pathways. Electrolytes, like magnesium, calcium, potassium. If one side weakens, the whole thing collapses, and guess what? Your muscles freak out at 2 a.m. Low magnesium, your muscles can't relax. Your nerves can't fire correctly. Low potassium, your muscle cells become unstable, hyper-excitable. Low calcium, muscle contractions become jerky, intense, and painful. And don't get me started on sodium overload. Too much salty food throws your fluid balance off, dehydrates your muscles, and pushes the triangle further into chaos. Let's run through the cramp multipliers, things that secretly make night cramps more intense or more frequent. Dehydration. Even mild dehydration, like not drinking after exercise, can thicken your blood and slow down nerve communication. Too much sodium eating salty ramen or chips at 10 p.m.? Your kidneys struggle to balance it out by bedtime. Cold environments. Cold doesn't cause cramps, but it tightens blood vessels, reduces circulation, and makes already irritable muscles more prone to spasm. Medications. Diuretics for high blood pressure flush out magnesium and potassium. Statins for cholesterol can trigger muscle pain and spasms. Antidepressants. Some affect sodium regulation. Age and hormonal changes. Older adults lose muscle mass and absorb minerals less efficiently. Women in perimenopause or menopause are especially vulnerable due to estrogen loss. The more you fear the cramps, the more they happen. Why? Because anxiety raises cortisol, your stress hormone, which depletes magnesium, increases muscle tension, and disrupts sleep patterns. It's a vicious cycle. 1. Poor nutrition, cramps. 2. Cramps, fear of sleep. 3. Fear of sleep, bad sleep, more cramps. We saw this with Monica, 47, a busy single mom. Her cramps hit after a few weeks of no rest, too much coffee, and skipping dinner. But even after fixing her diet, the anxiety around sleeping kept triggering them. She only recovered after adding a calming bedtime routine, warm bath, deep breathing, and switching from scrolling to journaling. Some people think cramps are just a cold weather thing. But for many women and older adults, they're a biological signal of deeper imbalance. Not random, not seasonal, but written in the chemistry of age, hormones, and the body's slowing rhythms. Let's talk about hormones, specifically estrogen. When a woman enters perimenopause, as early as her 40s, estrogen production begins its slow decline. Estrogen isn't just about periods or fertility. It plays a huge role in keeping magnesium in your cells, supporting blood flow, regulating calcium balance, calming your nervous system. So what happens when it drops? You get poorer sleep, higher muscle tension, slower circulation, magnesium loss through urine, less flexibility in the vascular system. Now stack that with aging. As you get older, your nerve conduction slows down. Your body doesn't absorb minerals from food as easily. Muscle mass drops, and you probably drink less water without realizing it. It's a perfect setup for muscle cramps, especially at night. Real-life story. Mrs. Lan, 62. I thought it was just the cold. Mrs. Lan was a retired school teacher, always active. She'd walk 2 miles every morning and loved gardening. But by her early 60s, something changed. Every night at exactly 3 a.m., she'd wake up with burning pain in her legs. Sometimes her feet would twist so hard she'd cry out. She tried wool socks, heated blankets, even extra pillows. Nothing helped. She came to her doctor frustrated. It must be the cold air. I'm getting old. Maybe my circulation is failing. But it wasn't her age. It was her diet. Her dinner routine. A glass of red wine, cheese and crackers, sometimes cured meats like prosciutto or pepperoni, and a small chocolate bar for dessert seemed harmless. But this combo? Alcohol depletes magnesium. Cheese is high in sodium and low in potassium. Processed meats, nitrates, and high salt. Chocolate has caffeine-like effects and sugar. Her doctor asked her to try a 3-week experiment. Swap wine for herbal tea. Replace cheese and meats with grilled fish and leafy greens. Cut sugar after 6 p.m. In 10 days, the cramps disappeared. By week 3, she was sleeping through the night for the first time in months. She didn't just treat a symptom. She rewrote her habits. Left untreated, these nighttime cramps don't just stay in the calves. They often spread to feet, especially arches, hamstrings, back of thighs, pelvic floor muscles, Yes, the ones responsible for bladder control and intimate comfort. Even hands in some cases, especially in diabetics or those with thyroid disorders. These cramps can lead to sleep fragmentation, waking up tired even after 8 hours, daytime fatigue, decreased mobility, anxiety about going to bed, a condition we call sleep fear. Night cramps aren't just about legs. For many women, poor mineral intake and tight muscles can also lead to something more private: pelvic tension, vaginal dryness, and discomfort during intimacy. The pelvic floor is a complex network of muscles, and like your calves or hamstrings, they can cramp, spasm, and misfire if electrolytes are low or stress is high. This is especially true for women in perimenopause or menopause, women with a history of childbirth, pelvic trauma, or chronic stress, anyone who sits for long hours or avoids stretching their hips. The signs don't scream at first. They whisper: mild pressure or tightness down there, feeling closed off or heavy after sitting too long, reduced sensation during intimacy, mild, sharp twinges near the bladder or lower belly, a sense of holding even while resting. Story: Deanna, 49. I thought it was just age. Deanna hadn't been intimate with her husband in over a year, not because she didn't want to, but because it hurt. She blamed dryness, then blamed hormones, then blamed herself. But her pelvic floor therapist found something unexpected. Her inner thigh, glutes, and deep core muscles were all tight and reactive. And her diet: lots of coffee, not enough magnesium, little hydration, no regular stretching. Once she started mineral support, hydration, and pelvic relaxation stretches, the discomfort faded. She cried the first time she had pain-free intimacy in 2 years. Pelvic floor muscles are skeletal muscles, just like your calves or hamstrings. They cramp, they spasm, and if they don't have enough magnesium or oxygen, they seize up right when you need them to relax. Stage 2, progression, from tension to real pain. Left unchecked, pelvic cramps can turn into pain during intimacy, dyspareunia, bladder urgency or incomplete emptying, constipation or rectal tension, chronic low back pain, anxiety about physical connection. Muscle cramping in the inner thighs, lower abs, and pelvic floor is more common than people realize, especially for women 35 plus. Story: Olivia, 56. My night cramps were stealing my marriage. Olivia and her partner hadn't shared a bed in months. Not because of relationship issues, but because her cramps and pelvic tension left her sleepless and in pain. Her muscles were working overtime at night, tight, spasming, dry. She described it as, like everything in my lower body was clenching at once. A combination of magnesium-rich foods, pelvic floor exercises, and emotional reconnection gave her not just her rest back, but her marriage. The hidden danger of comfort dinners. Let's face it, after a long day, many of us reach for foods that feel good, but mess us up at night. But your body, it doesn't care if dinner was tasty. It only cares if it can heal while you sleep. Your evening meal is either medicine or sabotage. The main offenders: 1. Processed meats, bacon, sausages, deli ham, pepperoni, high in sodium, nitrates, reduce blood flow and increase nerve irritability. 2. Salty broths or soups. Seems healthy? Think again. Many broths have more salt than chips. Sodium overload flushes out magnesium and potassium. 3. Caffeine in disguise. Chocolate, coffee, tea, energy drinks. Stimulants tighten muscles, interfere with deep sleep, and worsen tension. 4. Sugary desserts. Spikes insulin, increases fluid loss overnight, wakes you up dehydrated and tight. 5. Alcohol. Depletes magnesium, triggers dehydration, prevents restorative REM sleep. Why it matters. During sleep, your body is repairing muscle fibers, rebalancing electrolytes, relaxing the nervous system. But when you eat poorly at night, your body ends up working harder to digest, losing minerals in urine, sleeping lighter, waking more often, cramping more frequently. Real-life example. AJ. 19. I ate like a teenager, but slept like a 70-year-old. AJ is a college freshman who kept waking up with foot cramps. He thought it was from walking across campus all day, but when he tracked his dinners, he realized they were almost always chicken nuggets, soda, ramen noodles, late-night cookies or brownies. AJ made one small shift. He started eating boiled eggs, rice, and steamed greens for dinner. Within a week, his cramps dropped by 80%. He didn't even need supplements, just a cleaner plate. So, what should you eat before bed? You want foods that are gentle on digestion, rich in minerals, and kind to your nerves, not just for sleep, but for the deep kind of rest that heals your body. Here's your bedtime food checklist. 2 hours before bed. Balanced, protein, plus complex carbs, plus mineral-rich veggies. Warm, soft, calming foods. No alcohol, caffeine, or heavy sugar. Stay hydrated throughout the day, not just before bed. Remember, you're not just feeding your hunger, you're feeding your healing. Proteins. Grilled tofu, baked fish, boiled eggs, carbs, brown rice, sweet potatoes, whole grain toast, veggies, spinach, kale, zucchini hydration, warm water, herbal teas, no caffeine, optional snacks, handful of almonds, banana, chia pudding. Life lesson from food choices. Olivia, 63, said something beautiful. I used to eat like I was still 35, but my body wasn't. Once I fed the woman I had become, not the one I used to be, my body responded with peace. She didn't need pills, just compassion through nutrition. You don't have to give up your favorite foods forever. Just time them right. Craving chocolate? Have it at lunch, not 9 p.m. Want ramen? Add bok choy and egg to balance it out. Love soup? Make your own with low-sodium broth and potassium-rich veggies. Remember, balance beats perfection. Foods that heal while you sleep. Here's the truth. Your last meal of the day sets the tone for your entire night. Good bedtime food doesn't just fill your stomach, it feeds your nervous system, your muscles, and your brain. Here's what works. 1. Bananas, pluses. Almonds, why it works. Bananas are rich in potassium, platisir has to magnesium. Almonds offer magnesium, protein, easy healthy fat. Together, they help muscles relax and prevent overnight spasms. Real story, Emily, 28, used to have ghost cramps in her feet, sharp flashes that woke her up just as she fell asleep. After switching to this snack an hour before bed, gone within 4 days. 2. Steamed spinach with sesame seeds. Why it works. Spinach is a top source of magnesium and calcium. Sesame seeds add copper and zinc. This combo boosts circulation. It's a nerve-calming pro tip. Drizzle with olive oil and a pinch of turmeric for anti-inflammatory power. 3. Warm chamomile or passion flower tea. Why it works. Both teas naturally raise GABA, a neurotransmitter that promotes calm. They also reduce muscle tightness. Meaningful moment, Mr. Rami, 67, was skeptical until he tried chamomile every night for a week. Not only did his cramps reduce, he finally remembered what it felt like to dream in color again. 4. Boiled sweet potatoes. Why it works. High in potassium. What complex carbs, stabilizes blood sugar and prevents 2 a.m. blood sugar crashes. Fun fact, sweet potatoes also contain B6, which helps your body make serotonin, your sleep-friendly hormone. 5. Whole grain toast with peanut butter. Why it works. Whole grains help produce tryptophan, a serotonin precursor. Peanut butter adds protein and healthy fat, reducing hunger spikes at night. Watch out, don't overdo the portion. A spoonful goes a long way. 6. Low-fat yogurt with flax seeds. Why it works. Yogurt has calcium and probiotics for gut-brain balance. Flax seeds offer omega-3s that reduce muscle inflammation. Meaningful reminder, feeding your gut is feeding your mind and your ability to rest. Tonight isn't about perfection. It's about connection with your body, your breath, and your bedtime rhythm. Step 1. Eat early. Eat a mineral-rich dinner 2 hours before bed. Why 2 hours? Because your body needs time to digest, absorb, and settle before you sleep. Step 2. Hydrate slowly. Herbal tea or warm water. Don't chug water right before bed. Instead, sip slowly throughout the evening. Your body absorbs it better this way. Great hydration options. Chamomile or passion flower tea. Warm lemon water. Cucumber-infused water with a pinch of salt for electrolyte balance. Avoid soda, juice, and coffee after 6 p.m. Quick tip, add a pinch of sea salt, lemon to a glass of water to retain minerals. Step 3. Light stretches for legs and hips. You don't need a whole yoga session. Just a 5-minute bedtime stretch routine can unlock your tightest muscles. Try these: seated hamstring stretch, calf wall push, hip opener, butterfly pose, ankle rolls, and toe flexes. Step 4. Warm compress or magnesium lotion on calves. Heat, blood flow, relief. Options: heated rice sock, electric heating pad, low setting, magnesium oil spray plus gentle massage, Epsom salt foot soak before bed. Use for 10 to 15 minutes while lying down or reading. A night transformed. When you follow all 4 steps together, your muscles unwind, your nerves exhale, and your body gets the signal. It's safe to rest. It doesn't take a miracle, just intention. Myth-busting myth number 1. It's just the cold weather. Truth. Cold air may trigger cramps, but it's not the root cause. Cold tightens blood vessels and makes muscles stiff. But if your electrolytes and hydration are in balance, cold won't bother you much. You're not cold sensitive. You're under-mineralized. Myth number 2. Just drink more water. Truth. Water without minerals. Flushing out the little magnesium or potassium you do have. You need electrolyte support, especially if you're sweating, working out, or on medication. Myth number 3. It's normal with age. Truth. Common does not mean normal. Many older adults suffer because they're told it's just part of getting old. But with the right nutrition, movement, and care, cramps can go away at any age. Myth number 4. Supplements will fix it. Truth, not always. Supplements without the right diet and timing won't work. You need whole foods, digestion support, and consistent routines. If you crave salt at night, it could mean mineral imbalance. Try sea salt water plus magnesium-rich snacks. If your cramps happen around your period, you may need more iron plus magnesium. Try lentils, spinach, blackstrap molasses. If cramps hit during stressful weeks, focus on breathing. Pros. Warm baths. Heal stretching. Don't underestimate emotional tension's impact on your body. Try this tonight. Step 1. Foot soak. 15 minutes in warm water. Soak Epsom salt. Optional, add lavender drops or peppermint oil. Step 2. Gentle movement, child's pose, butterfly stretch, legs up the wall pose. Step 3. Sound, use calming music, nature sounds, or white noise. No screens for 30 minutes before sleep. Step 4. Reflection. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Let your body and heart release the day. You've tried sleeping through it. You've tried ignoring it. You've blamed the cold, your age, even your mattress. But cramps, they don't come to hurt you. They come to warn you. They're your body's way of saying, please notice me. Feed me right. Move me gently. Let me rest, truly rest. So tonight, instead of brushing it off, let's do something different. Let's choose warmth over worry, stretch instead of scroll, a cup of tea instead of a plate of regret. Because the truth is, you don't just deserve sleep. You deserve healing sleep, the kind that rebuilds you, the kind that forgives the day. And it all begins with a peaceful meal, a patient moment, a promise to care. You're not broken. You're just out of rhythm. Let's help your body find its harmony again. Sweet dreams. From all of us here at Sit Here with Teenagers,